Hello everyone, in this video I will explain how to use some functions to create automatic numbering, to create some sequential number in nanoCAD. It will work on vector environment, and at the same time we will use a nanoCAD raster module, and we will use this number on raster images as well, and we will try to embed those newly created text on the raster, right? So let's go and find how we can use nanoCAD for that. So on my system here you can see I have one AutoLISP program. So this is developed for nanoCAD, so I'll be using this AutoLISP program here to create the automatic sequential number, and we will use this vector file where we will produce this automatic sequential number, and at the same time we will use this image in nanoCAD and we'll try to produce some of the numbers, and finally we will embed those numbers inside nanoCAD. So let's start. I will open nanoCAD. So this is nanoCAD. Before I jump into the function, I would like to show you the module I am using on this installation now. So as you can see, we have the nanoCAD 2D platform, right? So these are all the 2D functions I have, nanoCAD 2D platform, and on top of that I have raster, integration of raster functions. Right, so these are the raster tools. I can easily open some of the raster images and I can process those images inside the vector environments, nanoCAD vector environments. So now, for now, I will open this one. So I'll open this CAD file here. So this is the CAD file, the sample CAD file I have, and this file will be used to produce the automatic sequential number. I'll delete this one. So this was an image only. So this is what I'm going to create. So these are the commands I will have inside nanoCAD. For instance, I'll have command something TIT, which will produce some output like A1Z. So the sequential factor will be 1. And the constant factor will be the first A and the last Z. So we can manipulate these settings anytime we need, as per our need. So now we will upload the function inside nanoCAD. For that, we will have to move to Manage tab, and we will click on Application, and then we will say Load Application. And the same directory. So this is my D drive. Sorry, this is my D drive, and here I have the folder, and this is the program I have. So I will say upload, and now you can see this is added in the list, right? So this is one time. If you insert or if you upload this program from this content option from here, so it will be one-time job for you. So once you upload this program file inside nanoCAD, that's it. It will work forever. So now I'm done, and I will say close. And now the moment I close, I can see all these functions were added, right? So these are now the integral functions of nanoCAD. If we press F2, we can see these are the functions were added, right? So these are the functions we have added now, and we can use this function now. Fine. So now let's try to create some of this sequential number. For instance, if we see the first command TIT, this will be text plus integer plus text, and then we have another command TRT that will take some real values, and we have text at the beginning and at the end as well. We have commands NCNMC, which will provide us some integer number inside a circle, right? And the number will be increase or decrease in a sequential manner. Likewise, we have command like nmp, which will allow us to create some integer number inside hexagon. We have commands like nm, which will be creating ascending integer, and we have commands like aazz. This command shortcut can be manipulated anytime you need, so this should not be any burden for you. So this will AZZ commands will create some alphabets, ascending alphabets, right? So, and then we have AAD, which will produce some of text plus ascending alphabet characters, right? So now let's start with some of this command. So initially we will go with TIT. So my dynamic input is on, so I can take this command on my model space. So now it says that what would be the increment. So I'm saying yes, I'm okay with increment 1 initially, and start number maybe starting from 1. So now if I press here, now I should start from 1. Okay, so maybe I need to use the suffix and prefix here. So in this case, I'll use the same suffix, maybe a, and then I'll insert like this. So the number is created is 114 a, right? So now if I press again, it will be 2, right? So 3, 4, like this. So it will be creating like this. Once again, I will use the same command TIT, and it says that increment 1. Okay, so start, I will start with A, and then A, and the ultimate, the end will be Y, and it will be 1, something like this. So now you can see I can create this sequential number like this, right? Now if we want to create some sequential number like this, so we will have to use TRT. We'll use this, and now it says that increment. So increment is 1, and maybe I can turn the dynamic input off for now. So start with, so maybe I will start with 1 here, and the prefix will be something maybe Y on this case, and the suffix on this case maybe let's say Y, and now I will be able to insert it. So now I can insert this like this. So any sequence we can create. Let's use these functions once more. TRT here. Now it says the increment. So increment is 1, and start, continue with 1, and prefix will be X, and the suffix will be Y. So now it should produce X1 Y, right? So now it produces the right number. 0 0 is coming because we are using real, right? So this is real. We can change it at any point of time if you need, but it's creating the sequential number like this. It could any sequence depending upon your need, right? So now let's create this circle, right? So we will use NMC here, and then we will set the increment. Maybe we will use increment of 3, and start with 1. So this is my first location, and I used increment 3. So now the number will be 3, 1 plus 3, so 4. So now 4 plus 3 will be 7. right? So depending upon the increment I use, so the number will be gap of 3, right? So these circles will be created. If I take the same command again, so maybe nmc here again, and I say increment will be 1 and start. So now you can see it's basically starting from exactly where we left last time. So it was 49. Now it's suggesting me that you already have created 49s. So to kill the duplicates, right? But I can obviously use, I can force it. So I will start from 1 and I use increment of 1. So it will be just like 1, 2, 3, 4, and it will create, as long as you need the number. So you can create number, sequential number like this. Same way, if we need to create a number with hexagon, we will use nmp, and it says that increment, yes, 1, and start with, I will start with 1, and then I will insert. So this is the hexagon I can create here with the sequence number. Likewise, if I need to create ascending integer, so I will use nm to create ascending. Yes, I will maybe this time I will use 9 or something, and start with, I say start with maybe 3. So now I can use this sequence as well, like this. So it will be 9 basically. So in ascending sequence, so it will create the number as per your logic, right? So these are the logic I used here. And same way I can create this type of symbols using AAZZ command. So if I do that, start with letter A, so I'm okay with the, yes, I want to start with A, and A, B, C, D, and so on, right? So it will continue like this. And finally we will use AAD, and it will give us double number. Now it says start with, maybe I will use this time with D, and prefix will be something, maybe I can use 1 here, and so it will be 1D instead of AA. So I have 2 options now. I can use 2 number, one will be fixed and the other will be variables. This is the sequence, right? For instance, if I use I want to use the same command AAD, and now I want to use A, and the suffix will also be A. So A will be constants and the next number will be in sequence like this, right? And almost anything you can create such type of sequence. If you need to create some special type of sequence, you can always enhance this list of functions, and you can create the sequence you needed to create. So the same thing we can use on raster images. As I said, we have the raster functions. It's a big raster function lists, right? So you can actually use optical character recognitions. You can use conversion function. I mean, you can use conversions tools and other raster editing tools, right? So this is a huge list of raster functions. So now, for now, I'll be using some of the images. So I'll go back to my D drive and I'll click this, and I will use this raster image for now. I can see the preview. So now I'll insert the raster image here, and now instead of this, say maybe I can go and I can create or maybe I can force the color for here. And now I would like to create something this one. So I will use AAD commands, and I will say yes, I want to start from A and the sub prefix will be A. So now if I say here, so now I have the color text, right? So this is the numbering I'm using, and this will be this, and maybe here another one. So now this text I created automatically. I can change the height anytime I need it to change. Maybe I can make it something maybe 10 here, right? So I created this new text in a sequence. Maybe I need to create some of the circles or hexagonals. So we will use NMC here, and now it says increment will be 1, and the number will start from 1 as well. And now I will show the location. So this is some of the locations I create, and that's it. So for now, this is in a specific layer. I can create the layer from here. So this is in a specific layer now, and these are all vector, right? So that means we cannot save this information as TIFF, as raster. But as I said that we are using the raster module in nanoCAD, we can do it easily. This changes will be part of this TIFF file now. How do we can do that? All we need to do is just to select all the updates we have here. So I selected all the updates now. I'll go to raster, and I'll try to find some function called rasterize, right? So you can see here the functions rasterize. It says copy. I will not copy. It will not destroy the source original, but still it will create the raster. But I don't want that. I want to use this one that will create raster. At the same time, they will delete or destroy the source. So let's see. Just click on that, and now you can see the miracle of having raster on inside nanoCAD, right? So now it's an integral part of this raster, right? So you have updated things now. You can use the sequence, right, as you need. You can create the sequence, almost any type of text sequence you can create. Sort of stamping type of things you can also use. Some of the text note you can use here, and you can just paste it, and you can follow the sequence. And after you place all of those note, you can just use this rasterize functions, and you can just convert everything to one specific PDF or JPG or TIFF, any type of images, right? So this is how easy it is if you are working with nanoCAD and the raster module. So you can handle vector drawing. These are all vector drawing. So we have no problem with the vector drawing. We can create all the vector drawings. We can use the text sequence, and at the same time, in the same window, we can handle raster images, right? We can use the same kind of text sequence using the same functions, and then you can convert those created sequential text into raster, and then you can save it as raster. You don't need to save it as only as DWG or DXF. You can save as TIFF or any other image format, right? So this is all in this video. If you have any questions regarding using sequential number inside nanoCAD or on images inside nanoCAD, or maybe you can, and if you have any questions on that, you can always comment. We will help you on that. Thank you very much. See you later.